The Southpoint Hotel and Casino opened in December of 2005. With nearly 2,200 rooms, 11 restaurants at a variety of price points, and player-friendly gaming, it's possible to have a complete Las Vegas vacation here at an affordable price. I stayed here for 3 midweek nights in December of 2024, and this is my report. Let's start with the location. One of the drawbacks of the Southpoint is that its location is far from the other resorts on the Strip. While it does have an address on Las Vegas Boulevard, the Southpoint is about 6 miles away from the Mandalay Bay, which is usually considered to be the southern end of the Strip. The Southpoint is so far south, in fact, that even the Strip's popular Deuce bus route doesn't come down here. That means that you'll likely need a car if you intend to stay here. The good news is that the Southpoint is really easy to get to from the freeway. It's right off Interstate 15 at the Silverado Ranch Boulevard, exit number 31. And if you're coming from the direction of California, it's one of the first resorts you'll encounter. Even better, the parking at Southpoint is free. And that's something that's extremely rare at properties on the Strip proper. Even the valet parking is free at Southpoint. The room I booked was a Deluxe king bed room located on the 22nd floor. Taking our first look here at the Southpoint. Room 2249 just arrived. Very nice. The room is quite spacious, about 500 square feet, with a couple of sitting chairs, a dining table with more chairs, and a working desk. There are also 2 chairs with a little ottoman and a table in between them, as well as this additional dining table with a couple of chairs. So if you were to order room service or something like that, Uber Eats, there's a place to sit down in here and eat it. There are 2 lamps with power outlets and a USB connections on both sides of the bed. The lamp has 2 outlets and 2 USB connections, and there's one of these on each side of the bed. So that's fantastic. There's a mini fridge in the room, and thankfully, it's actually left empty, so you can use it to store your own beverages and leftovers. Too often in Vegas, the mini fridge is filled up with overpriced minibar items, which can't even be moved without incurring a charge. Great job, Southpoint. In the closet, in addition to an iron and an ironing board, you'll find an in-room safe. I usually like to test the size of the safe by checking to see if my laptop will fit inside of it. This one passed with flying colors. One annoyance that I found was the fact that the Do Not Disturb sign fell off the doorknob nearly every time that I closed the door. Now I know that this is a minor annoyance, but what it means is that you might put the sign on the door, and once you close the door, you have no way to know whether or not the sign is still on the door or not. There's got to be a better way, and you know there is. I like this electronic system I saw in Colombia, but I recognize that a system like that is expensive, so I'd just settle for a magnet or just a more substantial sign. Unfortunately, when I tried to film it, of course, the sign didn't fall off the door. Oh, well, that time it did. But then later, when I opened the door, the sign had fallen off again. Oh. In the bathroom, you'll find a large vanity counter, and in contrast to the rest of the room, which seemed to be a little dark, the lights in here are nice and bright. At the edge of the counter, you'll see a Keurig coffee maker. This coffee maker is one of the amenities that's paid for by the resort fee, and I'll have more to say about that in just a minute. The shower here is a tub shower combination with a cloth shower curtain, and the water pressure was excellent. The The hot water came out almost instantaneously. And of course, I'm always a fan of the individual shampoo and soap, as opposed to the dispenser of generic goo that too often is found mounted on the wall of most hotels. Again, great job, Southpoint. For this room, I paid a rate of $84.75 per night for my midweek stay in December. Quite the bargain. Of course, on top of the room rate, I also had to pay the resort fee of an additional $33 per night, making for a total of about $118 per night, plus tax. Still a great deal. So what did I get for that $33 resort fee? Well, like nearly all resort fees, nothing. A resort fee is just a chance for the hotel operator to charge the customer more money, and it's not an optional fee. Here you can see the list. Coffee service and Wi-Fi are included, but of course even the Hampton Inn will give you those things for free. And for me, those things should just be part of the basic expectation for any hotel stay. Although, parenthetically, I'll add that there are hotels in Las Vegas that don't include in-room coffee because they're trying to motivate you to come down to the casino. The resort fee also includes free local calls, but of course I haven't used a phone in a hotel room since Bill Clinton was president, and I got my first flip phone. Oh, and that coupon book? Yeah, I didn't use that either. So you see, the resort fee is nothing more than a way for the hotel to charge you more than the advertised room rate. The Southpoint is not alone in this evil, misleading practice. In fact, I don't know of any property on the Strip that doesn't do the same, and many of those others charge a resort fee which is even higher than this one. As far as I'm concerned, resort fees are a growing cancer in the travel industry, proliferating rampantly, and I'll continue to rail against them. Now, I recognize that one property cannot hope to compete when all of its competitors are undercutting it with low lead rates while tacking on outrageous resort fees on the back end. So that means the deception probably won't end until some government steps in and forces the hotels to be upfront about their charges. Pretty similar to what happened when the airlines used to play the same game with fuel surcharges. All right, rant over. Let's get back to the good stuff. The casino at the Southpoint is one of the friendliest I've seen on Las Vegas Boulevard. There were always tables available with $10 minimums, and one morning I even saw a $5 craps table. Every blackjack table, regardless of the table limit, pays the traditional and expected 3 for 2 on a blackjack instead of the rip-off 6 to 5, which seems to have become so prominent on the Strip. There was a wide variety of other games, including roulette, pai gow, Texas Hold'em, and 3-card poker, a panoply of slot machines, a sports book, and a separate off-track race book. When it comes time to eat, you'll find a wide variety of restaurants at Southpoint. There are 11 restaurants, ranging from high-end steakhouses down to a steak and shake, so you're certain to find something within your price range, and you're probably going to run out of vacation before you run out of restaurants to try. In addition, there's a Starbucks, an ice cream shop, and even a hot dog stand and a sports book. I found the food to be delicious and the portions large and the prices reasonable at the Oyster Bar right across from the cage on the casino floor. The fish and chips there were delicious, and I ended up eating there twice in my 3-night stay. On the other evening, I ate at the primarily prime rib restaurant, where we had a 3-course Christmas Eve dinner for $49. It was fantastic. Some of the other choices that I didn't get a chance to try were the Coronado Cafe, a 24-hour coffee shop that features bargain plate specials in the overnight hours, the Garden Cafe, which is the buffet at the hotel, and here you can see the prices. Upstairs next to the prime rib place is Baja Miguel's, which serves a Mexican menu and margaritas. On the higher end of the spectrum, the signature restaurant is called Michael's. Along with that, you'll find the Silverado Steakhouse and Don Vito, which features Italian food. Apart from the casino, the Southpoint also has a movie theater, a bowling alley, and an equestrian center. So that concludes my look at the Southpoint Hotel and Casino. This was my very first visit here, but the Southpoint certainly is a place that I will stay again. If you notice something that I got wrong in this video, please drop a comment below because I strive for accuracy. I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and if you found the information useful, please like the video so that YouTube will share it with even more people. And finally, if you find yourself enjoying my work, I'd be honored to have you as a subscriber. This is Postcard Dan. Until next time.